Hey everybody, it's Steve, the amateur historian. Therapy walk, long as hell, part 2 of this walk, as I'm going just down this little run, and I'll be in downtown Milwaukee. So that'll be the second half of this excursion. Probably not as long as the first half because, well, I've already seen a lot of stuff. But before we get to the second half of this video, remember to like, share, subscribe, hit up my Patreon if you want to help me out that way. I'm always posting new extra stuff there. I'm trying to post multiple times a week there. All this extra stuff you can only get if you become a Patreon supporter today. The link to that is in the description with this video, as well as links to my Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and subreddits. That being said, let's head into downtown Milwaukee. Oh, how things have progressed. There used to be nothing really stopping you from getting on these railroad tracks. And in fact, as I said, in my last video, I was discussing my theory on the 1946 torso murder. And I discussed how up there, just a little ways, was the tracks that go to Oregon City. Well, these are the ones that cross the bridge from Oak Grove. You know, they go down this way out of Milwaukee into Oak Grove, kind of straddle near the river, and then they eventually cross into Lake Oswego. And this is, I think, the torso and the head of the woman were brought down some train, or maybe individual trains, down this way, were thrown off the bridge into the water. And the Brooklyn rail yards, way off that way and up into Portland, were probably where things originated from. And here she is in all of her glory. This is my old middle school. I think it's popped up a time or two in videos that I've done. But, you know, having not lived around this specific area and having not really lived even in Clackamas County for a couple of years, I don't really see this place that often. But this building up over here was the primary school. This was called the, oh God, what was the word they used for it? The annex. This was the annex building. So it was kind of like, if you were really smart, your lockers were here. And if you were just a run-of-the-mill kid like me, your lockers were more in the main building. And I don't know, is this closed to the public? It actually looks like this school is still not open. Of course, I'm in Clackamas County. Clackamas County and Multnomah County are totally different. So I'm wondering if it's closed. Oh man, I remember. I'm going to assume it's closed. It's also after 5, so even if there was school wouldn't be open right now. I'm just gonna get a little nostalgic for a stretch. That's kind of cool. I remember our teachers would bring us outside and we would sit by this pond if we had to like read out of a book. Yeah, there's like this was never here. This was a lot more, but this is where 8th grade algebra I had right in that room. I don't know how I still remember all this stuff. Yeah, because you'd go down the hall, exit, and enter the annex building. And my band class was in this building. My science classes were in this building. I don't remember if I had anything else. I very rarely had classes. This window way down there, that was like my homeroom. My locker was way down towards that end. But yeah, my math class was right here. I think most of my classes were more towards the front. I do not remember this being here at all, even though it looks like it's been here a long time. Maybe I just never noticed. But yeah, you'd come out. I don't remember it being this far over. But yeah, you would come out of the door, walk up this ramp, and go in here. My band class was right here, probably right through that door. And then my science class was just beyond it. Oh man, I'm getting real nostalgic. And yeah, the gym was kind of over here, and when you'd come down here, you'd either come out here to go to classes here, or you'd go down the stairs over here to the locker rooms and then come back up in the gym. Oh, I've missed you. See, unlike a lot of people, I really loved middle school, at least 8th grade. But yeah, what is it? Does it still look the same in here? Yeah, see, there's lockers. You'd continue down there to go to the locker room, and there's locker. I think the principal's office was right up through there. So I'm getting real nostalgic. I don't even remember what was actually back here. But I'm gonna wrap around to the front. Because actually, I think I had more classes there anyway. Because yeah, I think I had one of my math classes in this room. I had it like downstairs somewhere in here, but I had it up there for like the last half of the school year. That was when I turned an F my first quarter in algebra into an A+ by the third quarter, because I was just weird that way. Ooh, is a Max about to come through? Maybe just an old train? What's happening? So it's still the Waldorf school. I just don't think it's open. And even if it was, school would be out right now anyway. There goes the Max. I wish that Max went to Clackamas Town Center. That would make my trip home a lot easier. Yeah, during school hours, 7:30 to 5:30. And it's like literally 5:30 now. Or it's like a little after 5:30. Well, that's during school hours. They're implying that the school isn't even open right now. Uh-oh. And there was always Canadian geese. Where you at, though? I heard them. I can't see them, but I heard them. Yeah, the thing kind of pools up here, and we would sit out here and read for certain classes. Oh, they're fixing up this house. Or they replaced it. There was a place here, and I think it was in relation to the library, which is right over on the other side of it. They completely redid this library, which I kind of had mixed feelings about. It wasn't that great looking of a library, but it had a status, you know. So these never used to be here. There never used to be fencing around the schools, but yeah, this is more the front. There's people here, so I'm kind of apprehensive about getting too close to the school from this side. But this was my middle school, and I loved it dearly. Yeah, so the main entrance is like, there's the steps leading into it. Of course, these trees are all grown, so you can't really see much of the school. But most of my classes were on the front end, and there's the doors into the gym. And across the street, that's my middle school, and here's the library, which doesn't look anything. I mean, it's you know, it's nicer than it used to be. I mean, you know, it's upgraded, I guess. I just liked how just blah it looked. Ooh. Well, greetings. Greetings. Oh man, this is a boys club. What's up, you mallards? I don't know if are they mallards? I think they're mallards. Yeah, there's always been this really cool little pond. And then there's the library there, looking a lot more. I'll block the light out with my can. Yeah. Now, I forget exactly how long ago they redid up the library. But, so yeah, as I was saying in my last video, the transit center, which is right over here, right across the street from the field, used to be so sketchy. And the buses would start like here, but they'd wrap around down the street right across from the transit center. So my bus was, of course, down here. So we were always parked right across from the transit center. There's a little bit more look at this is definitely new. But yeah, the more bouged up letting library is what it's called. And I'm old enough to remember when these weren't here. This used to be a massive parking lot. Way too big for the library, but it was still nice. Yep, letting library. And now there's just like no parking. But yeah, this is a lot different. I think they tore it down and rebuilt it, because it looks nothing like it did before. Like I'll get like a full view here of the place, and then now I'll fade to a picture of what it looked like in the glory days back when I used to come here all the time. Yeah, see that? ain't quite the same. Oh, hallelujah. I need to get rid of this can. I know I'm a terrible recycler. My apologies. But yeah, so there used to be just all kinds of sketchy people that hung out right here. And our buses would be right here. So, you know, we'd hassle the people on this side of the street. They would sometimes hassle us in return. And they went to a lot of work to try to clean it up. You see, now they kind of make it more park-like. There's still, you know, there's always going to be sketchy people hanging out in the parks or hanging out in transit centers, but at least they tried. And also, yeah, here's like the Masonic Lodge, which is just awesome looking. I would always see this building and be like, what is a Masonic Lodge? Whatever it is, it's awesome. I wish I could be a Masonic. There's some stretches of businesses down here. My dad used to spend a lot of time here. He used to come here to City Hall and hassle the people all the time. Granted, sometimes rightfully so. This is City Hall, right? I think. Where is City Hall if this isn't it? Oh, and a bike station, a bike pump. Hell yeah, brother. Yeah, this is City Hall. Yeah. So my dad, I don't know if he still does, but he would come and hang out down here a lot. Oh, we got some history here on this rock. Let me take in the City Hall history rock. Honoring Milwaukie. Yeah, see, there we go. Seth Llewellyn. So he's one of the city's founders. That makes sense why he's Joseph Lambert. I want to say Lambert, I remember, as kind of a prominent name. Established the first fruit industries on the Pacific coast. I love this. There's Llewellyn and Llewellyn. They had to be related, just one of them altered the spelling of their name. There's no way there was just two Llewellyns in Milwaukie in the mid 1800s when nobody was here that just happened to spell their names slightly different. Milwaukie, in honor of Milwaukee's first council, 1903. So does that mean this whole thing is that old? Probably. The council, Owen J. Roberts. I'm guessing that means chairman. Casper Kerr. Yeah, I've noticed Kerr is a fairly prominent name in Clackamas County. James Reed. I went to school with a James Reed, only it wasn't spelled that way. Gottlieb Keller. F.H. Lecter. He was the recorder. Or she, I don't know. Charles McCann, treasurer. Jess A. Keck, marshal. Presented by the City Council of 1953. What do we got over here? Honoring, oh, it's more, yeah, Lot Whitcomb. Whitcomb, that's another, yeah, there was a Whitcomb, and Kellogg, I know, is a prominent name too, so that makes sense. Sawmill, flour mill, boat building, education. Hector, yep, there's a Hector Campbell school too. So, first school, Hector Campbell was the first school teacher here. So, I mean, if anybody deserves a school. So, yeah, there's a little Milwaukie history for you. Milwaukie loves rocks, you're telling me. And see, a lot of these little art pieces and stuff, they just weren't really here. You know, this stuff was never here. You know, this is kind of the cattywampus way in which the city of Milwaukie is structured. So I live like here in relation to Milwaukie. This is east, this is west. Yeah, none of this is, I think this is just them trying to spruce up the area around the transit center some more, which, I mean, you know, I'm all for it. This is very nature-rific. And there was some stuff here, but I swear they keep making it, like, nicer. So, I'm gonna, why not? Why not bobble through this a little bit? Mother's Love. It's a frighteningly long-legged horse creature made out of, like, mechanical parts. Okay. So this is called the City Hall Sculpture Garden. And there's this. This must have taken about 5. This is the most, I mean, this piece of art speaks to me. So does this. This really speaks to me too. And then there's this item. People are probably looking at me like I'm nuts. Contemplation. So is this like a reimagining of the thinker? Instead of thinking, it's contemplating.
Hello, in the back.
What's happening on this bus right now? Oh, there's more over here. Is that a football? Is that supposed to be a football? What the hell are you doing, Milwaukie? And there's this. You know, lots of these. Is that a sail? Like for a sailboat? Okay, what's the name of this football? Reconnecting. Oh, I get it. Like they all spurn out, but then they reconnect. Like a football. That's my analogy. Crescent. Oh, I mean, I assume like a kind of a crescent moon vibe. I actually have to step really far back so you can see this whole thing. All right. I mean, at least I get what the name means. Well, I mean, I get that one too, but some of these, I think they're going over my head mostly because I just don't care. Place to throw your trash. Okay, well, that was a pretty garden. So you're getting to see the downtown Milwaukie, the downtown of the town that I always had an address to but never actually lived in. Founded 1847. Hell yeah. I love this little stretch too. And by the way, this is Dark Horse Comics. This is like the place. In case you're like, you're a comic person, you know Dark Horse Comics, you like the name, this is like where they're based out of. They're based out of Milwaukie. I mean, I don't know how much that's changed in time, but yeah, they've always had, as far back as I can remember, they've always had these guys in here. Updated though, because they're now wearing masks. Updated for COVID, I guess. But yeah, these have like always been here on this display case for all to see in the city of Milwaukie. And you got some stuff here, promoting stuff. So yeah, so there's some pretty prominent things here in Milwaukie. Don't let them fool you otherwise. There's another one of these. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of keep on kind of meandering this way. I mean, there's not a whole lot. A couple blocks down and downtown ends. It's a very small area. Or actually, wait a minute. Hold on. I think this is part of Dark Horse Comics, but I think, oh, I mean, they're prominent enough. They probably own two buildings, because this is actually, this building, the next block down actually says Dark Horse Comics on it, but I think they're, obviously they're related. They probably just own, they just own this building over here and this building, or at least maintain them, which doesn't surprise me. I mean, you're probably the most prominently known business outside of this area in the history of the town, so it doesn't really surprise me. Well, here's another place I love, and it's actually open. I'm surprised. This collector's place I love. So you can go inside again. I thought this place would get shut down. I kind of want to go inside, but I'm not gonna. But yeah, if you look inside here, there's a soda shop. And John F. Kennedy himself sat at this soda shop right inside. I know you can't see it that well. Oh man. Okay, there's nobody here. Yeah, this soda shop right here. It's been maintained the way it is. John F. Kennedy sat at that shop, sat in those chairs, and had himself a drink. I'm assuming he had himself a drink. I don't know for certain. The fact that that place is open soothes my soul, because I totally thought, not a lot of people went in. I mean, people did go in there, but not a lot. I just thought COVID would just shut that place down. But it seems like most of the places around here have stayed open. Ooh, more Dark Horse. Well, that's because this is Things from Another World, so this is another comic shop. Maximum occupancy, 5 customers. Yeah, it's interesting that COVID is still, the restrictions are still so much worse. Here, you'd think they'd be better than in Portland, and here, It's where the Wonderland is, and I remember when this was still a theater. I forget the name of the theater, but I've seen like old pictures of it, like when it was first, because this became a theater in like, Lord, I have no idea when it actually opened, but it was I remember watching, I mean, it would have been I would have watched something like Aladdin in this theater. I really don't remember exactly what I watched. There's all these restaurants, like this taqueria place, Libby's, like all these places that I just never ever went to. But yeah, it's a Wonderland. Now, I think they still have like movie screens, but yeah, it's a pretty cool old movie theater. And I was thinking I could actually make it over to the high school, which the high school here was historic, but they demoed it all and put a new school in, so it don't look historic anymore. And this is new. This is brand new. This was never here. God, the uber expensive freaking lofts are making their... I remember when they were doing construction on this, though, so this shouldn't surprise me. But they're making their way into Milwaukee. It's not just Portland that you're seeing these overly priced pieces of crap anymore. Oh, this is a old historic building, too. I mean, most of these buildings are really historic. Oh, wait, no, this is where Bernard's Garage was, which was run by a guy named Jim Bernard, who was Milwaukee's mayor at the time, and kind of a pussy, to be honest. That's been my takeaway. But I know I talked about this in a video a long time ago. It gets no views, but this little parking lot where these cars are, there was like a buy, sell, trade kind of hawk shop place here, and I've never been able to find a picture of it. But it was a boat. The business was just a big boat, and you'd go inside. And I remember I bought games for my original Nickelodeon, my original Nintendo in there. I think I bought some movies, maybe some audio tapes. Like, I mean, it's been demoed for a long time, but it's like the greatest place to go buy random crap in the history of the universe. And it's been demoed for, I don't know, 20 to 25 years. Real sad. It caught everyone's attention going up and down, because downtown Milwaukee kind of starts here. So as you come in on McLaughlin here, like one of the first things you'd see was the boat, and it got your attention. It made you want to come and hang out. And there's the river, because this town's right along the river. And yeah, I'm coming to the end, because this is Washington Street. I think I just passed Monroe Street, and if I wanted to walk on Monroe Street for about 80 blocks, I'd make it home. I don't think it's going to happen, though. I've been recording for 13 minutes without stopping. That's got to be some kind of a therapy walk record. Yeah, and look at this old car. I think this is like not being used for anything. There's just this open space. Milwaukee, what are you doing? Use that for something. Yeah, there's the new high school up over yonder. I can't wrap my head around that. I mean, Milwaukee High School was like the original high school down here. Between Portland and Oregon City, that was the one. What is this? What have they done to my street? Oh, post office. What is all this? I wonder if there's supposed to be a bridge that they're never going to effing finish it. That's supposed to take you across to the park they were supposed to build down here, and still haven't. They did manage to illegally run the Max through here, but that's a story for another day. It's one of the few things me and my dad agree on, was the means by which they managed to ram this thing into our hearts and minds. I like the fact that there's a Max line coming this way, but the problem is that there's not a lot of places where it's viable for a Max to go. So, they ran part of the Max line through property that was designated to be a park. Legally, like, that was the rule. But, city council, they don't care. There's a lot of people hanging out here. Ooh, this is different. I don't remember this being like this. it's a Lady in the Tramp head. Oh, the art in this town. I kind of love it. Yep, there's the orange line, which again, it'd be real nice if the orange line, I could technically take the orange line all the way up into downtown, cross the river, get on the green line, take it home. That'd be a lot of max riding that I wouldn't want to. Oh my God, is the bridge actually open now? This bridge has never been open. Did they finally open this damn bridge? They did. People are actually using it. Wow. They got the little like food cart thing going. Alright, I'll get behind that. Actually, I think it was one of the oldest houses that's actually in downtown Milwaukee. It was located like down a dead-end road that was kind of surrounded by high school property. So I wonder if I can see it. I'm not sure. It really depends on where it's at, and my hopes that they didn't demolish it as part of their like building. I do kind of, I feel like it's a new high school, but it kind of still looks like an old high school. I guess I can kind of appreciate that because they're making every high school look like a damn shopping mall now. I'm like, just because you're making your school look flashy doesn't mean the education the kids are getting inside is better. It just creates the impression. Well, actually invest money on, a good curriculum, giving kids a chance to thrive when you can just build a nice, pretty building and give passersby the impression that that's what's happening. See, I think it's down this road. Yeah, see, it's just kind of this dead-end street, but right here is I think this is one of the oldest houses in town, and it's just kind of branched off of the high school. So yeah, it's still here. Glad to see. Don't want to wear out my welcome. Circling back around this way, and I'm already back towards the railroad track. So this thing's kind of coming full circle. Not gonna get mowed down, am I? No, I think I'm good. All right. Axle tree. What kind of a name is that for an apartment? But yeah, I think this is the first of these that have been built in at least in downtown Milwaukee. And I don't like it. I never like it. Yeah, I always remember this house would catch my eye too at times. And it's like kind of an Amityville horror type house. But I'm on Washington, so I'm kind of passing up along this side of Milwaukie High School. It's a little late to look both ways. Because, yeah, I'm wondering if the area where the track and field were has changed. It's probably in the same spot, but if they redid up the school, I'm wondering if they redid that up as well, because that part of the high school is pretty run down. I mean, I'm not saying my high school, the track and the grandstands were that great, because they weren't. They were falling apart, as a matter of fact. But Milwaukee may have been a little bit more run down. So I'm just wondering what that looks like today, especially since I've been reflecting a lot recently on my old track and field days, and one of the most exciting meets we had, junior year at Milwaukee. At the end of the year, we finished first place, they finished second, and we won the meet on literally the last relay. The last relay decided who won, and we won by like a couple feet. And that helped us manage to stay undefeated. Yeah, it looks like it's all still here. I'm just wondering if it's maybe been slightly updated. I remember having to run the mile here in middle school, because obviously my middle school is just a couple blocks. We would just walk through these businesses and up to here. So by the time we got here to run, we'd already walked like several blocks, and I had to run the mile here. Sick as a dog. I think I ran the mile in like 14 minutes. And even by the time I was done, his teacher was like, "How'd you do?" I'm like, "It's like 14 minutes. And he was like, "Oh, that's okay." You lazy bastard. Yeah, definitely it's looking a little bit more spruced up. than it once was. A little bit more spruced up. One last look at the field and the school. You know, seeing the school in person, it's honestly not that bad. I expected much worse, and now I'm officially walking away from the vicinity of downtown Milwaukee. There was a couple blocks the other way, north, past the library, but it's mostly it's a string of, like, you know, a couple businesses, coffee shops, things like that, and then things kind of slowly begin to fade out, and it becomes just a bunch of mostly industrial construction type stuff. And ooh, I was like, I hear water. Look at this. Makes me think of The Secret of Nim. That has got to be so old and so awesome. And then there's just this building here that kind of looks old too. Smile, you're on camera. So are you. There's a cool pond over here. That has to be so old, and so, like, that's got to be pre-1900. See all the moss growth, and just look at the gadgets and gizmos aplenty. And this is all so old that it's almost like it's like literally, you can see right there, it's just the metal's just rotting through. That is amazing. I need to look there. There's got to be something of historical reference, and like, what is this even? It doesn't, there's no signs that say what this is. I can adopt a road though. Smile, you're on camera. I already told you you're on camera too. What this? There's got to be. Maybe there had to have been like an old mill here or something. Yeah, I'm very like that's pretty cool. Just there. And there's like stuff up there. This obviously belongs to someone. But yeah, I have no idea what that is. That was awesome. Like, I honestly, especially since, you know, Milwaukee's a town right along the Willamette River, I'm getting like, there was maybe like, wait, what the F was that? Did I see the word music? Yes. There's old letters from like old signage that say music. What? What? This like 1 block stretch of road. There's a lot of interesting stuff going on. What is all this? This is all tied to the same property. There's this big, what is this? What? I'm gonna find out what that is. God is my witness, I will find out what that is. I swear to God, I'll find out what that is. And now that I'm actually out of downtown Milwaukee and I'm kind of starting to turn around and make my way home, I know Monroe is right up over here. And Monroe, I'm not saying I'm gonna have the strength to do it, I'm just saying it's possible. Because Monroe is one of the only routes that goes from downtown Milwaukee all the way to pretty much 82nd Avenue, and it's right, like 82nd Avenue, right around the corner from where I live. I've like walked little stretches of it. I think it like eventually becomes Thompson, but then still pretty much goes to right across the street from Winco, even though I'm like 60, 70 blocks from home right now. So I could beeline it down, which I think the next street up here is Monroe. I could beeline it up Monroe, like 57 blocks. Because honestly, I feel pretty good right now. My legs really aren't that tired. I feel spry, I feel alert. It's mostly been overcast and the sun's been kind of hitting me, so I am a little concerned I'm gonna get sunburnt. Because I didn't think I was gonna walk this long or this far. So I'm really hoping I don't get sunburnt. You never know. You know, you look and be like, oh, I'm fine. And then 2 hours later, you roll onto your side and you're just like, ah. Yeah, so this is crossing street right here is Monroe. So if I just turn and go up Monroe, it's literally like a straight shoot. And I'm not too far. I'm only a little ways down from where the bus runs, so we'll just see. Cause yeah, I'm already practically back to the Highway 224 that I had to cross earlier. Actually, that's going this way from 224. That's where this whole video started, or at least part 2 that we've come to now. Cause altogether, this is gonna be a long one. So I'm gonna try. Odds are I'll probably be fine to do it. You know, I've walked as far as I have and I don't feel like I'm dying. So I think I might make it. All right, so Monroe kind of wraps. Here we have to kind of do this sort of thing, and then Monroe goes right up there. This area always mesmerized me as a kid because there's the big like Milwaukie center or whatever here with all these businesses, and this was behind it. And I always felt like this was this like unknown place. Like whenever we drive through it, I felt like nobody knew this place was here, even though I, you know, see other cars passing through and stuff. And I have a lot of connections too. I'm not gonna walk through it because I don't want to waste any time, and my phone's already dead because, you know, I've been vlogging for a long time. But this is a big shopping center, the other side of this care office. And there was, I think maybe the Albertsons is still there. There was a seafood, McGrath's, which I think closed. I think COVID finished McGrath's off. And there's lots, you know, I think there's like a Taco Bell and a McDonald's there, but there's just a string of stores. And I think I once got medical stuff in one of these stores. I know I bought alcohol from a liquor store here once. And yeah, UPS store, I can see through there. I went there, you have that Starbucks I've been to. And there used to be a place called Super Play that was in this complex. And it was one of those places, it was like, there was that place and there was Discovery Zone. And they were those places that had the tunnels and the ball pits, and it was just this big padded heaven for children to go nuts in. And oh man, dude, oh God, the truck stinks, man. So, but yeah, and it was in this complex, and it was where I had my 9th birthday. You know, it was a place where you just go nuts through all the padded places and tunnels, and they always said don't run, but you know, there are a bunch of kids like F you, they're gonna run. Oh shoot, ow, that hurt. That hurt. I just jammed my toe into that. And of course I have a toe issue. I just saw this. This says Ken Van Loo. Rest in peace. Because I went to high school with a guy whose last name was Van Loo. I wonder if that's a relation. I mean, it's the right town. Oh, the right foot is hurting. I just jammed my already messed up toe. I think if I went through there, that would qualify as trespassing. So I'm going to keep following the rules and go around this way. Oh, crap. Yeah. Like, I didn't do anything bad. Like, you know, my toenail isn't ruined forever. But when you jam it, it just hurts 50 times more than it ought to. Yeah, so right up here, if I just continue up this way, I'm on Monroe for another succession of blocks. It's just a beeline up this way, and it'll actually take me right towards my home. And hopefully this recent event, now that my toe's hurting every step I take, hopefully that won't screw things up too much. I really don't know much about what I'm going to encounter going through here, but I think I've been at least this far to the point of like 65th, and this is 42nd, so I'm already only like 20 to 25 blocks from getting to the portion of Monroe that I already know from walking down and doing other vlogs, so I already know that's going to be near where I live. Slight alteration. Me and the girlfriend have decided on Arby's for dinner, which I loved Arby's as a kid. I don't really love it as much as I used to. But I'm okay with it. I mean, well, successfully so. Pretty much since the pandemic started, I've had a lot less fast food, almost by force, but also, you know, trying not to have fast food as often. Or if we do, going to a place like Baja Fresh as opposed to like McDonald's, because screw McDonald's. And, so what sucks about that is Arby's is on King Road. So my home is probably about this direction. Arby's is like that direction. So eventually I'm going to have to kind of and then kind of wrap around. But by the time I get back towards that area, I'm going to be back into an area that I know that I've shown that's probably popped up on various other therapy walks. So I'll probably wrap it by then, because I don't know, just kind of a residential stretch here. I actually want to say this kind of a part of Milwaukee is the part that people, you know, again, when I was younger would say was kind of the crappier part, kind of this middle portion outside of downtown, outside of Ardenwald. I mean, don't look too bad to me. I've seen a few rednecky type people, but aside from that, As I get closer to the end of my journey, because I think I'm roughly about where this road would hit 50th. I just passed 7 miles for my walk today, which, you know, I'm thinking back, some of those therapy walks I was doing like 13, 14 miles. This is sissy work. I got no right to complain about this walk being hard when I just hit 7 miles. Granted, I was only thinking I'd walk about 4 or 5 total, but I'll probably hit at least 9. Probably even a little bit more than that before I get home, because this is a good template though, because there's a particular jaunt that I want to do where I can do, like, it's going somewhere to get a video for something else, but I can do a therapy walk on my way there. So and that would be about an 8.5 mile round trip. So this is going to be more than that. So I think I've shown I'm capable of doing it. Oh, I love these. I just love the little corner stores that are just nestled into residential neighborhoods like this. There's something so homey about it, which is kind of interesting because I just came to Home Avenue. I'm just crossing Home Avenue. So use of the word homey is probably apropos for this moment and place. Wait a minute. When did the numbered streets start ending? I thought I was coming to like 50th, but instead I was coming home. Oh, that sounds so nice. I just want to hug myself. People are going to start staring. Stop doing that. Uh-oh. What is this? I thought this road was just going to go straight forward. Where is this? Oh, it just turns a little bit and then keeps going straight. Okay. Thought I was going to have a heart palpitations. Okay, no, yeah, it just curves a little bit. Good. I'm in no mood to get lost right now. Oh my God. Ugh. This guy just ran by me, like out on a run, and he smelled like pee. Like he literally smelled like straight pee. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not trying to work blue. The guy smelled like urine. Urine incarnate. I'm gonna throw up. I don't need this kind of crap in my life. Okay, so I'm gonna go all the way to 77th, veer up, go to the Arby's, get food, go home. That's the plan. I'm at Monroe and Wood Avenue, if that means anything to you. I guess if you're a Milwaukee resident in this area, it does, but yeah. So, got another like 20 blocks to walk. Veer a little bit north, Arby's, home. Tell you what, no. After all this walking, you know, a lot of residential walking like this, do you know how quiet it is? It's quiet. It's too quiet. It like almost kind of freaks me out, you know? It's like I just start thinking and thinking, and my mind starts racing. And then all of a sudden it's like, you thought I'd forget to do that, didn't you? You're almost right, because I almost did. I'm almost home and I'm like, wait a minute, something's missing. It sucks because I forgot to do one for part 1. Oh, that means I'm gonna get a lot of criticism and be like, where's your paranoid? Where's the paranoid mode? Dude, that guy, that truck driver looked like he was screaming. Okay, I'm scared. I'm scared of the truck drivers. I'm scared of the judgment I'm gonna get for forgetting a paranoid moment in my last video. Oh, God. Double the pleasure, double the fun. If you're into going paranoid. I think there's like 3 different dogs barking. I think they saw me going into paranoia mode, and they were just like, ruff, ruff, what the hell's going on? Ruff, ruff. I don't know. 60th, I'm almost to 60th, which is good because I've only got like 10% battery life left on this phone. Wait a minute, did I say 60th? I meant 64th. The numbers are getting bigger. I'm way past 60th. But yeah, see where this vehicle's coming out? Down here? That's, I would vlog along the stretch that vehicle's now going on, and where that vehicle just came out of, that's where I would usually turn. So this is, right here is kind of the moment where all of a sudden I'm back in an area I recognize. Never in my wildest dreams actually thought I would walk all the way back from downtown Milwaukee and get it all vlogged without my camera dying. Granted, it's down to like 9%. But fortunately, there wasn't quite as much to see coming back as there was going down, because obviously going there, everything was a little bit more organized. So I guess, you're not going to see anything fresh from here on out, so this is probably about as good of a point to end as any. And if you want to see more of this area that I'm going to walk through, well, I walk through this area doing a bunch of... Oh, wolf. Dog just came running up to the fence, but he came running up behind me. But yeah, bunch of the therapy walk videos that have already come out or are coming out now and in the future. I walk through this area. I've gone down this way a few times. I've turned up this way. I've gone straight. You'll see a lot of this in upcoming videos, so don't worry. You ain't missing nothing. That guy knows what's up. I need to get my toes in working order, and I really want to start being able to run again. This is something I keep. I mean, obviously I'm not healthy. I'm out here getting my walks. I just want to get to that point where I can start running again. Feel a slight better sense of endurance. Go into the latter half of my 30s, not feeling so much like starting to go downhill, even though inevitably we all are. But at 35 and a half, I've still got a lot of youth left, even though I will sometimes wake up sore as hell and think, oh God, it's all over. But that's just, honestly, like I'm at that point where I'm starting to understand the whole concept of aging, because now it's like, there's certain things that like I could do when I was 25 that I know even at 35, if I tried now, I'd probably break something. So like I'm starting to slowly understand that element of life, how, you just kind of, the time sneaks up on you and you kind of just slowly start breaking. But anyway, I'm not here to end things on a downer. I'm here to end them on an upper. So yeah, that felt good. I did. Again, it'll probably be about 9 miles by the time I get home. And I mean, you don't need to know what's going on. I'll tell you exactly what's going to happen. I'm going to go to Arby's. I'm going to buy food. I'm going to buy what I think is just the right amount of food for me. And then I'll eat all of it, and I'll lay there with a food baby for about an hour. Then I'll probably play a little GTA online. Maybe not. And then I'll probably start... I have some videos I'm going to do some noting on so I can be ready to shoot them at one point. Start thinking out some other videos I want to do. And possibly start editing this long big boy. This may be the longest just in complete like raw video that I've shot. This may be the longest therapy walk I've ever done, even as a two-parter. Like, you combine them together as one because it's one exploration. This is probably the longest one I've ever done. Even with when I first started doing this, going out, and I'd get from Southwest Portland all the way to the southern end of Tigard and wrap around to Lake Oswego and still somehow have battery left. Well, that's probably why those ones weren't as long, was because I couldn't video as much because my old iPhone's battery was starting to go, and this phone's got a pretty good battery. I still got like 8% left, which means I have to stop now because, well, if I don't, my battery's gonna die, and my girlfriend just sent me her order and I'm not gonna know her order if I don't have at least 1% battery life left. So it's probably what I would do for the rest of my day. I'm cutting it off. I'm saying arrivederci to you for the day, for the night. I hope you'll enjoy this. I mean, I actually, you know, unlike a lot of therapy walks, I actually showed a lot of things, took you to a lot of spots, told you a lot of random personal stories, most of which are hopefully at least somewhat funny to you. So I hope you enjoyed this very long, complete video. I woke up and I was like, I wanted to do more with my day, and then I thought, I'll just go for a walk, do a little therapy walk video, and it ended up actually being probably more substantial than I would have done doing something else otherwise today. So for today, I've won. Thank you so much, as always, for watching. If you stayed through the whole thing, thank you for supporting. I mean, I guess this is an ongoing series. Thank you for supporting this series of videos I do. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for supporting me, moi. And as always, remember to like, share, subscribe. Hit up my Patreon if you want to help me out that way. Even if you just give $1 a month, you'll have access to all this other extra stuff that, well, it'll be available to you. The link to my Patreon is in the description with this video, as well as the links to my Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, yes, TikTok, and my Reddit subreddit. It's all there for you to click on, peruse, do whatever you want to do with your life. So one more time, thank you for coming and hanging out with me today. And I really hope I don't get sunburned after this. It's mostly overcast, but there was a pinch of sun kind of hitting me all day. Hopefully I'll be all right. So anyway, one more time from the heart, this has been Steve the Amateur Historian with another therapy walk. See you tomorrow.